What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a full WTF Evolutions team. Alright, this one is quite an interesting team. This is based off Pokemon that don't quite, well, you wouldn't quite expect it to evolve into another Pokemon. So obviously this one's a little bit opinion based, so just bear that in mind before leaving a comment. Speaking of comments, leave those theme team suggestions in the comment section below as usual. The highest Thunderman comment will be the winner, or you may be picked for a Mystery Monday. This was actually for Mystery Monday, but I didn't quite get around to putting it up on Monday. We've got it up a day before. Alright, this was a battle on my chat. If you do want to have a battle against me, you can. That's in the description of the video. Alright, so this was a battle against Ethan on my chat. We have a Alolan and Geodude lead here. I'm just setting up spikes here with my Wimpod. Now, this is a Little Cup battle. I've got two battles here in this video. I've got a Little Cup one, and I've actually got a level 51, which I was meant to actually do Little Cup for, but I didn't. I kind of messed that one up. So, got some exciting battles here and some good bloopers there, so make sure you stick around for the whole video. Very good. Alright, so basically best start 2017 there. My Wimpod goes down to a Rock Blast. I was hoping it only hit twice, but it didn't. Now, I've got Trapinch here. I'm actually running a special Trapinch here. It's got Earth Power on it. I've got Giga Drain on it. Now, it actually gets Gust as well. That was quite fun to use that. Now, the Gusty obviously thought I'd say Earthquake, so I actually went for Giga Drain there because I did expect the Gusty to come into that one. Now, I'm expecting a Shadow Ball from the Gusty, but it's going to use the Hypnosis and it's going to use the Nightmare. Now, this is quite funny because I didn't plan on it to use Hypnosis or anything, but it actually had Sleep Talk on this set, so I could make use of that and hope I could get a Dragon Breath. Now, this was a Rest, Sleep Talk, Acid Armor, and Dragon Breath set. Dragon Breath basically just to spread as much status, a scummy status as possible, and just get really, really bulky with Acid Armor. Alright, now I've got this one max, max health, max special defense, and I've got a little bit in defense as well. Obviously the Little Cup EVs are slightly different. Okay, so I'm hoping I can get at least a Dragon Breath off here. That will be pretty good, but I'm going to get Sleep Talk Rest. I've never seen that one before. Okay, so I'm going to get hit by the Nightmare. Now, obviously Nightmare is a turn-based move and it does like a quarter damage each turn. So I want to leave my Goomy for a little bit later and swap that one out. Bring in the Mighty Phoebus here. This is actually a physical Phoebus this time. I've got Rain Dance on this one. I've got Waterfall, I've got Hypnosis and Flail. So I can set up the Rain Dance there to boost the speed, boost the power of Waterfall, and if I don't have anything to hit with, I can just let myself go down to Focus Dash and fire off a pretty powerful Flail there. So I can't hit the Gusty with Flail, but I can hit it with a boosted Waterfall there, and that's going to be heaps enough to take it out there, which is nice. Gusty is a big threat. Alright, so we have the Sphere coming in here. Now I've got the Flail up on good, like its most highest base power too. It does pretty good damage there to the Sphere. It's definitely Everlight set, and it's going to finish me off there with the Frost Breath, but that's all good. So fairly good start there at the moment. I've got to see a couple of the other Pokemon. Now I've got my Goomy here, just swapping that one in. I was hoping I could wake up and go for rest, but I'm going to fall asleep. So I know I'm going to go down to an ice move here, being the Frost Breath, and that's my Goomy gone. So things aren't looking too good now. Half my team is gone. Now I can't really bring Trapinch in. I was thinking, what should I bring in? So I'm going to bring in the Mighty Remoraid. Now I actually got a Remoraid sweep with this exact set. I will put that up later on during the week. This is quite a fun set. Now, I'm going to take that out with the C-Bomb. This is a physical set. This has got the Focus Energy on it. I've got Scope Lens, and I've got the Sniper ability to power up those critical hits. Now, with the Focus Energy and Scope Lens, that gives it a 100% chance, and it's got Gunk Shot and Waterfall as well, so it hits very, very hard with the Sniper boost there. That's actually going to demolish Rowlet. Now, this was MVP in a lot of my Little Cup battles with this team. The only problems with it, if it would get outspared or priority, they were the only things that really shut it down. If it did have the Focus Energy up, it usually just rampaged through the team. Alright, so I'm going to outspeed the Charmander there with the Waterfall, take that out, so it was really good. Remoraid has really got me back into this game. Little Cup battles can go very, very, very fast too. Alright, so we have the Alolan Rattata coming in. I thought it may use Sucker Punch, so I went for the Focus Energy there, but it's going to use the Quick Attack, so that sucked. I didn't even have my Focus Energy up then, which was good. So obviously I'm going to get prioritized there with the Quick Attack. So I kind of betted on that Sucker Punch, but that's all good. It did a very nice job. Swapping in the Mighty Magic up here. This is a Power Herb bounce. I had some very, very funny battles with this. So obviously bounce is a 2-turn base move. Power Herb is going to power up. But I actually missed there, which was quite funny because it's quite ironic because I was versing a Lola Rattata with Hustle and it hit me. So best luck 2017 there. All right, so going for a bounce here again. I need to try and get some damage on this thing. Paralyze it. Now the Rattata is going to go for a Focus Energy, which is bad. I need to take this thing out like ASAP. However, the Rattata is going to actually swap out. The Alolan Geodude is going to swap back in, so I really can't touch this thing. I've got on this Flail, the Power Herb as you already seen, Tackle, I think I had Splash on there. They didn't have too many move options. Okay, so I'm hoping I can get a Paralysis from Bounce. That was really my only option there, and just do as much damage as I possibly can. Alright, so I'm going to dodge that Rock Blast there. Now this Geodude needed to go down. I had Trap Inch left. I had a super effective move against that, but I needed to, I was thinking I could use Giga Drain on it and take it out. That would be my best option. Alright, so Magikarp goes down there, but he does make some good returns in the next battle, and the bloopers, you have to see that. Very, very funny. Alright, so my last Pokemon is the Special Trapinch here. Going for the Giga Drain here, because I know that I'm going to get outsped by the Alolan Geodude. Geodude doesn't have much to hit me there, which is good. It only hits me 2 times there with the Rock Blast. I'm going to take it out with the Giga Drain there. That is the Alolan Geodude down, getting a little bit of health back there from my Trapinch, and that gives me full health. The last Pokemon is that Rattata. Now, here I've got the... Oh, that's my last move. I've got Signal Beam on this. So, guys, the Rattata gets hit by the Toxic... Not the Toxic Spikes, just the normal spikes there. I'm going to finish off with a Mighty Signal Beam, and it's nothing like... It's nothing like finish off a battle with a Signal Beam Trapinch. Said no one ever. Alright, very close battle there. Let's get on to the next one. Now that... the Trapinch was max special attack, max health with Everlight there, just for a little bit of bulk. I was going to give it specs, but I wanted to free it up a little bit more, give it a little bit more bulk, and able to use all 4 moves. Alright, so we have a Marini there. I hate versing these things in Little Cup. They're so bulky. Setting up spikes on this one. Now, the Marini's just going to straight off the bat go for a stockpile, so I'm like, oh, that's bad, because no one in my team can actually take that out now. There was only one Pokemon that could actually do that, which was my Remoraid. Now, I had C-Bomb on to hit this. I needed to get the Focus Energy up, and I needed to get a free swap in there. Marini's going to go for another stockpile, so the max I can get is 3. So here I was hoping, well, I can get the Focus Energy up here, then go for the C-Bomb after. I just needed the Marini to go for another stockpile there, because Remoraid isn't probably the bulkiest Pokemon in the world at all. Okay, so the Marini's got 3 stockpiles up there, so it's bulky. There's no way anyone on my team is ever going to be able to take this thing out. Now I'm going to go for the C-Bomb here. Now with the Focus Energy and the Scope Lens, that's always a crit. And with the Sniper, it gets a massive boost there. That nearly takes it out there. It's going to go for the Sludge Bomb there on me. It does loads of damage. Unfortunately, I get poisoned then. That really sucks there. Now Marini either has to swap out here, someone has to swap into a really powerful C-Bomb, or just sack the Marini there and bring something else in there to outspeed me there. So I got rid of the Marini. That was very, very good there. I had like nothing to take that thing out. This team had a really big electric weakness too, and like a lot of weaknesses, it's very hard to get some close battles with this. Alright, so we got the Rowlet coming in here. I've got the Gunk Shot here, and it lands, which is good. That Rowlet is absolutely going to get wrecked. That does like so much damage. I don't even think I needed a Focus Energy crit there to take that one out. So that's Rowlet down. That was good. Now, just living on my next round here due to the poison on my last little bit of health here. So Remoraid is doing an absolutely excellent job here. Salandra's going to come in here. I'll just wait for Waterfall, and going to get a little bit of Spikes damage on that too. I outspeed and take out the Salandra there, obviously, with a Waterfall. So an amazing dream start there from my Remoraid. That was absolutely awesome. I really love using Remoraid in Little Cup. It's a really decent Pokemon. If you can get rid of the faster Pokemon or Scarf Pokemon and any priority Pokemon there that hit really, really hard. Alright, so bringing in the Mighty Magic up here, we have the Zubat here. Now, Zubat obviously gets Leech Life now, so it's a little bit more than a threat than it normally is. Alright, so going for the Bounce Power Herb here. Need to get some massive damage on this, hopefully going for the Power Hacks. Does fairly good damage there. It's not stab or anything for Magikarp. Magikarp hasn't got the most greatest attack in the world there either. Alright, so Zubat is going to go for the Leech Life here, getting most of that back. And it's got Black Sludge too, so it just recovered half the health and damage that I did. So going for the tackle here because I'm probably going to miss with bounce again. Waiting to see what this Zubat is going to do. So it's going to use Toxic against me. So it might be maybe a little bit bulkier than the other one because it did have Black Sludge. It didn't have like Live Orb or anything or Choice Band, which it can run. Okay, so here I was hoping, well, maybe if I just go for tackle again, then it hits me with Leech Life. I can get it in a range of Flail, and that'll be my, a really, really hard hit from the Magikarp. All right, so Zubat's going to go for another Leech Life there. It's going to get more of its health back. I was confident I could take it out if the Zubat was around half health. I knew the Flail would be enough to take it out. Okay, so Toxic is doing a fair amount to me, but it's not quite doing enough. I'm not in the range of full power for Flail there, so it hits fairly hard, but not really as hard as I wanted to. And Zubat is going to be able to take me out there with the Leech Life. Magikarp will return in the bloopers. It had some very, very funny moments there. All right, so that's down. So the battle is starting to even out here. Remoraid gave me a very, very good start, but I need to get back into this one. It's almost even. So bring in my Gen 4 Pokemon, my Phoebus. I explained this set already. I've got on this one max attack, max speed. A little bit in, actually a little bit in health there, just to make it a tiny little bit bulkier if needed. So setting up the Rain Dance there to power up my Waterfall. Now Zubat, instead of attacking me, is going to go for the Toxic, which kind of sucks there because I can't make use of my Focus Sash Flail there. So that's disappointing. However, I do have the Waterfall in the rain. The Marini's gone, the Rowlet's gone. There won't be too many things that are like swapping into that. Now, I'm going to go for the Waterfall, obviously, here. The Zubat is going to swap out, and the Chinchou is going to come in. I was like, okay, at least I can get some damage on it, the Chinchou there. But it's going to have Water Absorb, so that was nice. I wasn't expecting that. Good to see Water Absorb on Chinchou instead of the Volt Absorb. So Chinchou was very, very scary, especially against my team. Oh god, it's super effective against nearly all of my team except my Goomy and my Trapinch. Alright, so I expected, obviously, I thought it might be a Volt Switch there, so I swapped in Trapinch. So I was like, well, there may be a water move coming my way. Let's swap back into Phoebus, and then I might be able to get, try and get myself down into range of Flail. Hit it as hard as I can there. It's going to use Ice Beam, which sucks. Now, I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to take this out. Definitely not with Flail. I can't use Waterfall at all. Hypnosis is shaky, so let's go for Flail to get some sort of damage on this thing. Unfortunately, the Ice Beam is going to be enough to take out my Phoebus there, so I was very, very well countered there. There was absolutely nothing I could really do in that situation. Okay, so bring in Wimpod here. Now, I've got Leech Life on this thing. That was probably the best I could do to it. I know that I'd go down to Thunderbolt or anything like that. Leech Life does very nice damage there. However, I'm definitely going to go down to the T-Bolt there. That's going to one-shot me. I had max speed and max attack on that with the Orange Berry, just to hold off that Wimp out as much as possible. I had Spikes there, Aqua Jet, Waterfall, and Leech Life. They had so many cool moves to use. Alright, so I've got a very specially defensive Goomy here. Max health, max special defense there, boosting special defense nature, and boosting my defense a little bit there too with the leftover EVs. Now, here I was worried I was going to get freeze hacks because it always freaking happens. So going for the Dragon Breath here, trying to get some hacks, and it wasn't just enough to take it out. So really here, looking there, I needed... I really needed to go for the rest here because there's a couple of Pokemon still left. Like, half the team was still remaining. I only had Trapinch, and Trapinch wasn't the fastest Pokemon in the world either, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be able to get some kills. Alright, so going for the rest here, that is good. I'm going to hope I can get the Sleep Talk Rest, Dragon Breath, just to finish off the Chinchou. I was also worried about a critical hit too. That would be really bad. This is probably... Well, out of my team, most of my team was quite... it was quite very hyper-offensive except for the Goomy. I needed some sort of tank on my team, and that was basically it. And with the Acid Armor, that made it very bulky in defense too. And quite often, it could definitely cause a swap if you swapped it into a special attacker. They'd have to have a significant special attack and be super effective to really, bother staying in on that matchup. All right, so Chinchou is going to go for another Ice Beam here. I think I got Rest Talk... Sleep Talk Rest, and I got Acid Armor, so those weren't too working out for me there. Now, I wanted to go for Dragon Breath there, but I thought, no, Zubat's going to be able to come in after that if it's got Brave Bird. I wasn't sure what I had. I knew that it can have that move. I was just wondering if it was a mixed set or whatever the hell it was. Okay, so Chinchou is going to use another Ice Beam there. This was, I think this was about... I was counting the ice beams too, so like I could probably stall out the ice beams, but I really don't want to stall out too much. I just want to have enough health to survive the next Pokemon, take it out with Dragon Breath, just like I did then. Alright, so the Zubat's going to come in here. I know it's going to use some sort of physical move against me. I can just go for the Dragon Breath, or hope I can get the Dragon Breath from the Sleep Talk rest there. Alright, so going for the Brave Bird hits very, very hard there. I've got the Gooey on this too. Now, I thought Gooey would be good because I can drop the speed of, he's a very speedy Pokemon, then swap something in, that's not as fast as that and finish him off. Okay, speeding things up a little bit here. Now, I had the bulky special defense Goomy here, and I finally took out the Zubat there with the Dragon Breath. Now, the last Pokemon was the Dewpider. Now, I really, really like Dewpider. I actually used it in one of my recent videos. Now, this was a physical set here. It's going to use the Poison Jab. Since I've got the Acid Armor, it's not going to be doing too much. It's actually got the Shell Bell there, which is pretty cool. Now, I actually had, if you mentioned earlier on in the video, I had Gust on my Trapinch, and I was like, I want to see if I can kill this thing with Gust. So, I just wanted to see if I could get a couple of Dragon Breaths and actually see how much it did to the Dewpider. I know it's got very nice special defense there. I wasn't sure how offensive this one was, or if it was bulky. Okay, so I'm going for the Dragon Breath here. That's fairly good damage there. I just hope I could get some hacks there, but it's a 30% chance, so it's not actually too bad. Alright, so going for more Dragon Breaths here on the Dewpider, doing some really good damage there. It's also got X-Scissor on it there. I was really only worried about a crit on it there too. I'd say a Water-type move on my Trapinch I'd be worried about. So anyway, I was like, bugger, I really want to try this one. Swapping in the Trapinch now, it's going to go for the Poison Jab, which I resist, which is nice there. Okay, so going for Gust here, that was the main thing I wanted to go for. You probably will never see Gust used in a Wi-Fi battle, so I want to use it. It's me. Alright, so going for the Mighty Gust there. It doesn't quite kill it. The next one would have been enough to take it out. However, I'm going to go down to the Waterfall on the next turn there. The Dewpider is going to have a little bit of Shell Bell HP recovery there, and that's probably going to have enough to actually live the Gust there. I was hoping I could get the Gust finish. I got the Signal Beam finish before. I was trying to get the Gust finish, but that wasn't enough for my Trapinch. So the last Pokemon is my Goomy, which I swapped out before, which one Dragon Breath will be enough to take it out nicely there with the Dewpider out with the Dragon Breath there. And that one is game. I hope you guys enjoying these double battles here. I've got some more tomorrow, and enjoy those bloopers.